August 10th, Velsao. Yet another gathering of people, yet another protest, yet another confrontation in the long line of face-offs between the people and the state that clearly doesn't seem to care. The Southwestern Railways is building another track next to the earlier one to carry even more coal from Goa's port to factories in Karnataka and beyond. These lines will almost cut into the entrance of ancestral homes in the villages in the Velsao belt, leaving them with no access, not even for an ambulance to reach them. One 83-year-old veteran activist, Edwin Pinto, collapsed in the heat while protesting, and the ambulance that was called to approach him through the very road on which the second track will be laid. A live example of what will happen when the double tracking in this stretch is complete. Or let us say, if it is complete. The Southwestern Railways is relentlessly carrying on their work of double tracking. What they are doing is they have not only encroached areas which they claim is theirs, and they have literally surrounded and choked houses on the other side, which we had brought to you about a couple of months ago. Now they have moved further down the track and have started making preparations for laying the railway track. Now, if you look a little behind me, if I can request my camera colleague, my video journalist, John, to turn the camera towards the ambulance. Now, if you see, this ambulance is coming on this road today because the track has not been laid. When the railway track is laid, even this ambulance will not be able to come here. And we now have somebody right here at the back. John, if I can request you to turn the camera again once on this side. We have a senior citizen here who's an activist who's been fighting, who has actually managed to come here on all occasions, and he has suffered. He had a mini blackout. Now the point that I'm trying to make is that when the railway track is actually laid here, even this ambulance will not be able to come here. So this is a live example of what's going to happen to people if there are people in these houses, if they get sick, if they need help. This very ambulance which is coming on this road will not be able to come here. So the thing is, Bob Edwin, by his unwarranted but brave act, has actually given a live example of what's going to happen to the people here. Edwin is moving out right now and is moving on the very land on which the track is going to be laid. The new railway track, the double tracking railway track, is going to be on the same spot. It's going to be on the same spot, on the same pathway from which Bob Edwin is being carried out. So once the railway track is here, even senior citizens of this place will not even have a path to move to the ambulance. And this is how people's lives are getting choked in this pristine land of yours. And locals in Velsao and valiant foot soldiers of Goa, some in their 90s, arrived to stop the might of the state and central governments and the Rail Vikas Nigam Limited.
आमगे घरा उच लागल त्या तणान ते ओ रस्तो नालो जाल्या आमी लासन मत आल्लोली आमगे घरा ओडा उच लागलो आई एम्बुलेंस पालोयला.
And so solidarity to the people of Velsao and the neighboring villages. This needs to be a sustained agitation, not just today's only. We as people need to come now and be there with the Velsao villages and the neighboring villages to see that this agitation goes on, because the government is not going to listen. Call goes out also to the people. Now we need to question our representatives, both at the assembly level and at the parliament level. Where are you all? What have you all done? Is the question we need to ask now. This track has not to be laid because we have already addressed it. If there's a funeral, how do we take our loved ones? If there's a fire, how does the emergency services come? What do we do? What do the people do? If the government is not ready to listen, we are ready to throw the government out.
If we want an ambulance or anything coming out over here, it won't be possible if they put another track. And it is not just one track that they were going to lay. I have heard that it is going to be 4 tracks. So that means slow by slow they will encroach our land inside the property. This is also our property which we have already given, our ancestors have already given, and our papers are showing that our land is up to the railway track, the existing railway track which is there now. So the RVNL cannot tell us that it is not our land. The land that we are standing here today is our land. It is the land of the villagers of Velsao.
पेपर घेऊन किती परिस्थिती केल्या ताजी प्रायव्हेट प्रॉपर्टी गव्हर्नमेंटाची न्ही आणि कोणाची न्ही ताज्या प्रायव्हेट प्रॉपर्टी खातीर रडटात आणि बाबडो पेपर घेऊन भोंवताले हे सरकाराक दोळे उगडपाक जायना कसले तर बारीक लोकांचे सामान्य लोकांचे बीजेपी म्हणटा असले लोकांक हे सरकारान रस्त्यार हाडल्या जगदीर हाडल्या हांगासलो आमदार पोटले घेऊन गायब जाला.
Now let's look at the immediate flashpoint. Why was the protest held on August 10th? What was the fresh provocation by the railways and the Goa government on the people of Goa?
We had submitted a letter to the deputy collector apprehending that they will block this road by dumping gravel. And
When was this letter submitted?
this was, we made this letter in the month of May.
Okay.
The deputy collector called RVNL, called the land survey department, and we had a joint meeting. In the meantime, the deputy collector asked the Mamladar to depute his talati and reascertain for themselves whether the houses that we are talking about are really landlocked. The Talati.
Yes.
The Talati gave a report endorsing our statement.
Is it?
Yes.
What exactly did the Talati say?
They number one said that this property is not in the names of the railways.
Right.
And number two, these houses are landlocked. And if any work is taken place there, they will not have an alternate access for fire brigades and ambulance. Based on that letter, a meeting was called, and the deputy collector gave strict instructions. It's in writing. And very amusing part is this: when he communicated it to the group, the RVNL insisted give it in writing.
Okay.
So he says, I'll give it to you in writing. And he gave it in writing.
So there's a letter by the deputy collector in writing.
In writing.
Confirming what the Talati had said.
Yes.
Confirming and reaffirming the villagers' apprehensions.
Yes.
That it will get.
Yes.
And also the fact that the land does not belong to the railways.
Yes.
The general manager of the Rail Vikas Limited, executing the double tracking project for Southwestern Railways, Sashi Bhushan Sahu, still seems to believe that the railways have been on this land for 100 years and actually own it. It doesn't seem to matter to him what the facts on the ground actually are. So the survey number is not yet allotted, no? So you all are doing work on a survey number that's not been allotted.
He's doing the hearing now.
No, but the point is you agree, and I've met you at this very spot. Now all these pebbles that are lying here, they belong to the railways, correct? So if the survey number is not yet allotted, then on what basis is the railway property here? This is railway property.
Railway operating and occupying since 100 years.
Okay, irrespective of whether people's houses are getting blocked. See, at the end of the day, people are losing access. Now, this gentleman who fell sick and had to be rushed in an ambulance, even that ambulance would not have been able to come once the railway track was laid. You agree? I mean, you are seeing it in front of your own eyes, isn't it? My issue is, what do you do about access, genuine access to people's houses? That doesn't matter, is it?
We are ready to give 1.5 meter access.
But before that construction has to stop, the solution has to be agreed upon, and only then can it happen.
That they are doing. Our deputy collector is.
But right now, are you all, once the deputy collector agrees,
Let the administration decide.
and then are you willing to stop work then till this access is given to them?
That is up to collector.
But Sahu appears to have conveniently ignored some hard realities that Orville Rodriguez, convener of the Goencho Ekvot and one of the main stalwarts of the people's movement, highlighted.
Government attempted to obtain documents from the railways regarding pertaining to this particular stretch of land. The railways have failed to give even a single document to justify their claim what they are doing here. So this is utter disregard to the government of Goa's instructions. Totally illegal, unconstitutional, because as you see on my right hand side, the entire stretch of houses are there. It is not 20 or 25 houses. There are houses in the third and fourth row as well. So those houses, they have no access. This is the only access to this village. The other side, further down 500 meters, is another row of houses. Those houses, if these people want to enter through their kitchen, this is not गोंयकार पण आमी दुसऱ्यागे कुजनातल्या भितर सोन आमगे सालां येवपा नाय ह्या गव्हर्मेंटाक सांगून दिता ह्यांनी घरां बांदलेली much prior to 1890s. 1890s, this land was not even gifted. It was allowed for the west of India Portuguese railway to lay the tracks. Our ancestors were gracious enough to do this because that was the need of the hour. And in railway gaili kityaku, the railway gaili essential commodities from the port to Chandraralpa through Margaon. Not for this coal what is going in day in and day out. म्हाका लोकल्सान सांगचें कितल्यो हिका लोकल पॅसेंजर ट्रेन वयताली ते एक तेंपा एमपीटी पोर्ट आहलो तो थिंगा 100,000 मायज लोक काम करतालो आयज 300 लोक काम करता कोणश्या लागोन. So what is this so-called development for whom?
The point that probably has been missed in the passion of this agitation, which itself is very right, is the fact that the activity of the railways to put this debris here and put this JCB here and start the construction and preparatory work for the double tracking on this stretch of the railway tracks violates an agreement that the railways, the deputy collector and the Talati had made in the month of June. You'll be shocked to know that once the areas on the other side of the track were completely covered and preparations made to lay the railway track there, and we spoke about it in a video about a couple of months ago. They have now moved on to this stretch of Velsao along the same line of the track, and what had happened was that in the month of May, the Velsao villagers, people who are fighting this, had written a letter to the deputy collector stating very clearly that they apprehend this kind of an encroachment by the railways on land on which there are no survey numbers. The Talati was then sent to do an inspection, and the Talati's report very specifically agreed with what villagers have said, and the Talati confirmed that there are no survey numbers and the apprehension of the people of Velsao of this kind of encroachment by the railways is very genuine. A meeting was then called by the deputy collector in the presence of the Velsao villagers and a representative of the RVNL and the Talati, where the deputy collector also reconfirmed and conveyed the Talati's report and stated that this is true, that the survey numbers are just not there. And in the absence of the survey numbers, the land belongs to the government. But under no circumstances can this land belong to the Southwestern Railways. And the minutes of the meeting very clearly stated this, that the railways had absolutely no right to carry out this exercise because not only are the survey numbers not in their possession, but the land does not belong to them under the Act very clearly. In spite of the minutes being very, very clear, in spite of the minutes being present and the minutes being issued, the railways went ahead and did this, what appears to be a completely blatant act, as our interview with Mr. Maxi revealed, because he's one of the main brain thrusts of this. And then when I interviewed Mr. Sahu of RVNL, he very blatantly said, no, the land belongs to the railways for hundreds of years, and if we have to stop work, then the government of Goa, that means the deputy collector, has to give us the orders. Why did he not reveal the fact that the meeting was held and in the minutes of the meeting very clearly stated that the survey numbers are not there and the position of the people of Velsao is genuine and correct? Therefore, isn't it completely shocking that the same deputy collector, Pratap Rao Gaonkar, allowed the railways to start work of laying the track by violating his own instructions? And the people of Velsao made this very clear to him.
What we are saying, when the matter is sub judice, when the ownership is still not ascertained, आता owner, I want owner. तूय म्हणटा ओनर until that is solved तू काम कसो स्टार्ट करपाक can we give construction license to any construction when the matter is sub judice and when both are saying that you and I are saying this is my land ना बंद जातात खंयची ऑथॉरिटी बंद करतलीच सर पंचायत can stop or collector can stop or court will stop definitely will stop so what we are saying unless and until that is ascertained how can you start your work तुवें एक्विजिशन करूंक ना तू हायपोथेटिकली म्हणटा की लँड म्हाजी सो हाव कॅन यू से इट वर्क बट स्टार्ट टू करता इलिगली तू म्हण तू ब्लॉक करता एक्सेस तेजी गाडी सेंटराची पळय गाडी आहा आतां ऑलमोस्ट 1 year जाले इट इज स्टक देयर इन हर हाऊस शी इज नॉट अनेबल टू रिमूव दॅट व्हेकल आउट
दाखय म्हणटा का तिथून
तेजे पळय मरण पळय जाल्ले सर शी कुड नॉट टेक हर डेड फादर्स बॉडी आउट फ्रॉम दॅट हाऊस.
As anger and frustration built up, the arrival of political leaders Vijay Sardesai and Amit Patkar added to the intensity. The police force was strengthened and more officials were rushed. As they climbed into the JCB to symbolically remove the pebbles to be used for the track laying process, the crowd cheered on.
की गोंयचे लोक उगीच कितेंय आयकुपाचें ना आनी सोसून घेवचें ना इनफ इज इनफ म्हणटना एक रिएक्शन जाता रिएक्शन जाय पडटा तांची एक्शन आहा की दे हॅव एनक्रोच दे आर डुईंग इट इलिगली लोकांचें रिएक्शन आहा की एनक्रोचर आनी एनक्रोचमेंट क्लियर करप सो आज वेलसांवच्या लोकांनी एनक्रोचमेंट क्लियर केल्लो आहा जो इल्लिगल एनक्रोचमेंट जाल्लो RBNL कडच्यान हो इल्लिगल एनक्रोचमेंट लेजिटिमायज करपाक हे पुलीस हे डेप्युटी कलेक्टर आनी सगळी मशिनरी एक इल्लिगल एनक्रोचमेंट लेजिटिमायज करपा खातीर हांगा आयिल्ली आहा तो म्हळ्यार पयलो कायद्याचें कंप्लीट 12 बिरेस्तार ते कारणांनी केल्ले आहा हे हांव एसेंब्लीन रेज करतलो हो इशू आमी तसोच दवरुया बट दीस इज सिंबॉलीक जेन्ना दांडी मार्च जाली तेन्ना एक एक्शन केल्ली त्या भशेन ही एक एक्शन आमी दिल्लीक सांगूंक सोदतात की दादागिरी बस जाली आतां आमी तुमकां हुमटावन भायर मारतले आनी दिल्लीचे सगळे कोण आहा तांकां हुमटावन भायर मारपाची कापाजदाद गोंयकारा कडेन आसा हें आमी दाखोवन दिल्लें आहा आनी हांव मागता सगळ्या कडेन की एकवट असोच राखचो आमी कोण दिल्लीवाले गोंय चलोवंक सोदतात रिमोट कंट्रोलार आमकां हुमटावन भायर मारया हे 6 म्हयन्यांनी भायर मारया.
आज हांव खरें म्हणल्यार गोंयकारांक एप्रिशिएट करता की आज गोंयकारांनी ह्या प्रमोद सावंताच्या सरकाराक दाखोवन दिलें की तू जर तर आमच्या घरान जर घुसलो जाल्यार आमचे कडेन ताकद आसा तुका बुलडोज करून भायर उडोवपाची.
Another question remained. Where was the local MLA from Kortali, Anton Vaz?
पयलीं म्हळ्यार हांगाचो आमदार खंय आहा पयलो प्रश्न म्हणटा आमदार खंय आहा
मोडगी घेता
ना आमदारान आपल्या लोकांचे ताका पडूंक ना जाल्यार आमदाराक दाखोवंक दिवचें पडटलें की आमदार ताणें हेज टू रिजायन MLAs from other areas can come here and the local MLA is not bothered. The other opposition is not bothered. This is not right.
Ultimately, it is, it was, and it will be a people's fight. And these are the fighters. A 70-plus-year-old man is here fighting for Goa while the local MLA, 90, I'm sorry, an 83-year-old man, a valiant activist here fighting for Goa while the local MLA cannot find time to come here. There are senior citizens fighting for Goa, fighting for their land, and so this is the profile of our valiant soldiers of Goa. They brave the sun, they brave the heat, they brave the rain, but they do not give up. While local representatives stay away. Finally, it's the might of the people against the stubbornness of the state.
We don't want the tax.
Our government has lost or has no mind, no proper planning, no scientific application. तांकां फक्त करप्शनाची गोडी लागल्या हो 20 आमी मोडूंक जाय. And Mr. Pramod Sawant, You are not my chief minister. If you don't know how to protect your people, we don't know how to call you our chief minister. You need to come down to the ground and see the reality for yourself. तुम्ही सगळ्या पावतात मिनती भितर आणि आमकां मागीर तुम्ही इंटिमिडेट करतात. Taxpayers' money is used to intimidate the very taxpayer who is supporting all these things. How is the government run?
With video journalist John De Silva, this is Shujoy Gupta for Inco.